It's insane. I didn't expect such ease of use. It's just a lot more sculptural. With the way that I paint, right? I'm using like a spatula type of thing. It's kind of a rocky feel to it. So I think there's that thing that will allow me to make the sculpture feel quite textured.
At some point it might relate to what we scanned today at the level of the skeleton of architecture, the skeleton of the body, the scaffolding, the spine is one singular but movable scaffold part that holds all the other parts together. But I've kind of come to today thinking, there's some other interesting layers that are informing the physical and possibly the virtual design.
That was amazing. That really did change the way I conceptually and visually conceived an image and a drawing in my head.
I've never seen the program Unity being used. So I think it's a good name for the program because you can unify pretty much every medium you can imagine. It just means the possibilities of what you can do and the detail you can get into and the detail are pretty endless.
First time using VR technology, and at first, I had to kind of work my way around what's possible and what isn't. But once I got the hang of it, I kind of was more open to exploring everything that I can do with it.
Once you've used this thing, you realize how restrictive a mouse actually is. That interface is so much better, it's unbelievable. That one-to-one relationship with the model you want to work on is, well, I haven't experienced that. Not virtual reality, it's reality.
The texture of the fabrics is just so much cooler too. I can see how it becomes something that you can upholster, really build a 3D fabric, how much more textile-wise you can play with it. Overall, I'm super inspired now I feel like I want to create them physically, so to go and use the sketches and then reinterpret it in wire and tubing and glitter, LED lights to make it an actual product.
So using a scanner to scan in some of the parts and to basically build on top of that in a VR, that's definitely not something we've tried before. The level of detail you can inspect it and play around with it without actually having to go through the process of printing it is already helpful.
Things like poses, simple poses for me because I'm a visual development artist. It was so much quicker to get ideas out. It was okay, cool, I can see them in 3D space, I can quickly pose them in 3D space, and from there I'm like, oh, I could do so much from this.
Yeah, it also makes it weird that we're still using, in other programs like ZBrush and Maya, we're still using a flat. It needs to be VR, there's no other way because you're creating something in a 3D space, but you're not viewing it. To be a traditional sculptor is like walking around the sculpt. I think that's what you need.
Makes a huge difference, the experience. It's a whole different thing. I think especially the manipulation of things. I mean, we just try and sculpt in a 2D world has always been challenging, and it obviously is the next step. It seems so intuitive.
I've been through many different states of mind about Johannesburg CBD and experienced and explored many different facets of it. At the moment where I am with the city is I'm very much interested in the everyday of Johannesburg CBD because it attracts people from all over the African continent, and it's this amazing melting pot of different African cultures in one place. But notoriously difficult to navigate with a camera especially, which is why it was so much fun to take the Insta360 out on the streets of Hillbrow.
I always thought of digital technology as like too determined, so you almost always need to know what you're doing before you do it. But I think these sort of 3D sculpting tools changed my perception about that. Certainly from like playing, I could then come up with new and exciting forms very quickly, very easily, and very expediently.
This is new territory, and I think as an artist you're always very precious about what kind of experiences you have. So I think for me it was quite an eye-opener in the sense of I'm actually getting to see what next I could actually apply my skill and my understanding of my art experience with this newfound medium.